So, this is Randy from the Metallic Onslaught. I am here with Joe. How's it going, Joe?
It's going good, Randy.
Awesome. And we are here with a couple members of we just got done watching Jungle Rot, and they were awesome, but that is not Jungle Rot we were talking to. We were talking to two members of Warbringer. Guys can give me a swift kick in the ass afterwards.
Sure. My name is Carlos. I play the drums.
Yes. And this is John.
I do the vocals.
You do. Very well. Show was awesome.
The show was awesome.
Yes.
Holy crap.
Right on. Glad you enjoyed it.
We saw you a number of years ago, and this time blew away that time.
Good.
And that time was amazing.
Yes.
So
Excellent. That's the aim. Move forward always.
I would like to point out that you guys have created a thrash masterpiece.
Thrash.
Yes.
It was that album is amazing. The new album.
Thanks so much, man.
How do you create a thrash masterpiece?
What
was the mindset?
You don't really think about it that way. You have solid ideas, good enough to turn them into what you would consider a song or bits of a song, and it pretty much just kind of snowballs. You start with one idea. Usually it starts with some sort of riff or some sort of lyric or vocal idea, for this time around anyway, but it was pretty much the two of us with our main guitarist Adam Carroll as well. He would have riffs here and there, like a library, so to speak, so I would take all those riffs, meet up with him, because we were, location-wise, we lived the closest to each other out of the 5 members, so that was just, in our benefit.
Yeah, that album is phenomenal.
It was just something, we just pretty much just took said library, put our 3 ideas together.
And for the record, the name of the album is Woe to the Vanquished. Got to throw that out there.
And it's on Napalm.
Yep, on Napalm Records.
Yes, we were actually discussing that earlier. You guys were on Century Media for a while, and now how did that transition come about?
Well, basically it's nothing too amazing or fancy, but more or less what happened is Warbringer had a 4-record deal with Century Media Records. We did 4 records, and then the band more or less fell apart for a time, and therefore not having a lineup with which to re-sign, I did not.
Gotcha.
And, so that threw things into jeopardy for a couple of years. I reformed a fill-in lineup with myself and Adam Carroll, keeping it afloat for a couple of years that way. That fell apart as well, so it was quite an arduous struggle. Then fortunately, Cruz here, came back around. Things were looking up again. The band rebuilt some profile at this point, and we just had the hunger again. A part of why the band broke up in the first place was because of the relentless beatdown of endless touring, and often in poor conditions. So that we're reapproaching this with a new mindset, and we're working hard, but we're also taking better care of ourselves on the road. We've kind of rejuvenated the mindset of the band, and that's another reason I think it comes off so strong, is because this record we knew exactly what the hell we were doing, because the whole band had to reconstruct itself, so there was a lot of time to sit and think about this, and a lot of, in my case, necessity to pull out something better than what we'd done before. So I saw it as having 2 choices. I can, sink or swim, and when you're in that kind of situation, it can bring out the best in someone. And I think, as well, I'd like to say that we had a real 3-pronged songwriting team that was a new dynamic from previous records. Before, the main songwriting team was myself and John Locks, and Adam would compose certain songs kind of start to finish by himself, and then I'd put lyrics over it. It was a different dynamic working that way. And then Carlos started on Worlds Torn Asunder. He wrote Echoes from the Void, all the music for it, and we worked on the lyrics together. That was the first time. And then on Empires, we did some working together. He wrote about half of that record.
Yeah,
so,
at that particular point, it was like individual songwriters. We had 2 different members from a previous band. It's like-minded. It was Mantic Rituals, Jeff Potts, and Ben Motzman. So They wrote one style. John Locks wrote the style wherever his head at was at the time. I wrote my style. So you hear that. The record is really varied. All over the place. His voice is what makes it kind of cohesive over the entirety of the 11 songs or whatever. But this time, like you said, there was a focus, there was an aim, and we just kept it crushing the whole time. And we just knew that it felt good for us to do that. But then there's the quality of the music and the songs themselves, and the lyrical content and the riffs, and all that kind of came together.
It is a total package for sure.
Yeah, it is definitely a beast of a record.
I believe it's also necessary for us to kind of basically to justify our own existence and to be worthy in our own eyes of continuing what we think is a great style of music. We think that approaching it with anything less than the mindset of we are going to make just the top of the mountain level shit, as good as metal can get, that's how good we want to be, and and then we'll see if we can climb a little higher, and so it's just the continued result. That's been our mindset the whole time, and with 10 years under our belt, I think we can actually, in my view, I think we can get something that's starting to really achieve our goals, and it's been a lot of work and a lot of development, over 1,000 live gigs, and
that's how you do it.
Dedication, heavy metal.
Now, as I recall, because I talked to you like 6 years ago here, you had said at the time, this is the only band you've ever been in. That this is pretty much your baby.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's dedication right there,
Well, it's a little luck, and things wouldn't work out. Partially because the way things worked out, I feel I am supposed to be here. When things started, I had no experience or background in music whatsoever, and I happened to meet some people that I worked well with, that we had common names, and we were able to make something that people got into right away. Our demos were all, I traveled to Europe before our first record came out, and people at metal shows and stuff I went to would come up and be like, "Oh, I heard your demo, it's sweet," and I didn't talk to them even, they just knew, and I had never played there in my life or released a record.
That's cool as hell.
And so we got this kind of upswing of support. I think people were ready to hear some metal that was doing what Warbringer does, and just basically being vicious and crushing and fast the whole time.
There you go.
And that's missing from metal. There's so much stuff that's really like processed and calculated and like choreographed headbanging.
Cookie cutter. Yeah.
With trigger drums.
Over-polished triggered drums.
Choreographed headbanging.
That kind of stuff, and the endless identical singers. So it's none of the fire, the viciousness, or the personality of old heavy metal. We're not interested in retreading directly old heavy metal, but we want to play something we think is in the spirit of that, but is our own blend of all things, and is reflective of ourselves as well as our influences.
Absolutely.
So how has this tour been received so far?
Pretty solid. Pretty solid. I mean, it's an extreme metal tour, which is good. It's pretty much like our niche.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Death metal band, thrash metal bands, death thrash metal hybrids. It's pretty much extreme metal front to back, regardless of it. And like I said, pretty much our fans. Maybe some who are fans of Destruction haven't heard us or Jungle Rot, vice versa. Jungle Rot may have fans that have never heard us, or fans of Jungle Rot have never heard Destruction, or whatever the case may be.
Expanding your audience.
Exactly. Extreme the entire way, And
Now you mentioned there's going to be another tour after this.
Yes, Dark Tranquility, I believe you guys said.
Yeah, that'll be in the fall. Yeah,
good deal.
September, October. We go back to Europe, July, August. And we just came back from Europe the month of April.
Yep. We are going to work our asses off for this record and pretty much just try to wreck people in every city that we go to every single time. And just try to carve our name into the earth, basically.
And luckily, the record is quality enough to do that.
It is.
Like you said, the majority of everybody has praised it one way or another. Maybe some fans have these were my favorite moments from the past, but this new one got my attention,
Yes.
We met a few fans here today. I discovered you through this song, you know what I mean? That's from the new record, and it got my attention immediately, so here I am at the show. That's always a good feeling, for sure.
So the Dark Tranquility tour is going to begin in the U.S.?
Yeah, North America, U.S., Canada. It's a band from Canada, Striker. Ourselves.
Okay, cool.
Dark Tranquility. So should be a cool bill, varied. You know what I mean, for a Dark Tranquility audience. More melodic, more progressive, more death metal, mellow death, that whole vibe or what have you from 20 years ago. So yeah, once we get the B-side of this new record going, it'll be a good fit. You know what I mean? We'll crush on the first half and then expand whatever the audience would perceive of us through that.
Yeah, that was a deliberate move on the record too, is we wanted to have the opening just be like bam, 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 just repeated devastating blows. And then to have it, instead of kind of burning itself out through repetition, to have it sort of settle into something more desolate and dark and melodic and grim. So there's this black metal influence that was present on parts of Worlds and Empires.
Okay.
Crept, you know, we really amped that up in the last part of the record, particularly in the last song, I think. And I really like the way it feels, because by the time, at least by the time we feel, okay, we've you know, made the point with the sheer aggression, it varies, and I think it just gives the record such a different dimension and makes it unique to other thrash metal records and to other metal records, because it straddles the line at different times between pure thrash, between death thrash, between heavy metal, between black metal, and between moods of just pure aggression and then like bitterness and almost this like heartbroken exasperation at the end that I'm trying to get. And just to tap in, I'm trying to make my voice as an, you know, our voice as an artist more unique and meaningful as well. So, because it's the way to affect people the most, and that's ultimately the purpose of music.
Yeah.
Isn't the last track like 11 minutes long?
Yeah.
Yes, it's a
Initially, it
hell of a
wasn't intentional that it would be that long. We knew we wanted a longer song to close the record that just felt bigger. But it's pretty much, it kind of, again, it just kind of snowballed. One idea led to the next, and then we saw a photograph that inspired the artwork. And as soon as we got the artwork, we were like, damn. Yes, like it all came together really well. So
Good deal.
It doesn't sound like it's, or feel like it's 11 minutes long at all.
Yeah, it's a really flowing piece. Has you know, I've kind of subdivided the lyrics into 5 movements and trying to just make something that's a real monolith of heavy metal that is unlike anything else we made. And you know, the album cover is a gigantic monument too. We're trying to, you know, make a real work that is monumental for this era of heavy metal that we are in.
Nice. Do you have anything else to add, like websites you want people to go to, or
If you
anything?
look for us on the internet, you will find us.
Type in Warbringer.
Google.com.
Yes.
Yeah.
Google is your friend in this day and age.
Yeah, might go to
Usually.
WarBringerMusic.com.
Yes.
Everything's updated. There's a store. You know, you can buy the new record, LP, CD, and then every little trinket of merchandise you could imagine.
The Napalm Records website also has some stuff. We have a Warbringer Instagram page and a Warbringer Facebook page that are updated quite often. So if you're interested, there's plenty of stuff coming out, and there's as well as we're on a number of different heavy metal publications and websites. So there's a ton of press out there for the band, and you can see us talking a lot in this kind of manner.
Good deal.
If you want, you can watch us talk for a really long time.
Awesome. Well, hopefully you guys play back here on the Dark Tranquility tour. That'll be awesome.
Yes,
We'll be there.
we will.
We'll interview you guys.
All right. Yeah. We'll contribute, and thus, you know, this is what aliens will one day receive when
Yes.
it travels light years far from here.
We should just take this and put it on, you know, like the next launch, like they did, you know, years ago with.
Chuck Berry.
Yeah, they put Chuck Berry
all
on.
kinds of stuff, and just send
You know.
as far
You'll
as
hear
we could
this
go.
on the dark side
We're
of
in
the
an
moon.
empty
There you go.
parking lot also by you know, a single dim light, so it's time for me to mug you now.
Good old Rochester.
And the moon's behind us.
The moon's
too.
up there too, yeah.
That's pretty black metal.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh, that.
All right.
So it's only half. I don't have to turn into a werewolf yet. It's fortunate.
Funny, I had that thought myself about 2 minutes ago. I looked up and I'm like, oh, we're safe.
We're good.
I am the resident wolf on this show,
It would
so.
be highly inconvenient. I just changed my clothes.
Nice. All right. Thanks, guys.
All right.
you.
Yes.
Thank you.